Okay.
Listen.
All right, listen, we're going to try to bring the Currys back in. Unfortunately, Instagram didn't give me the same love that they gave me last week when they let me go on for an hour and a half, because we got some more questions for the Currys.
Because when you talk about faith in the culture, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, man.
Listen, that's that good wine that's making her dance around like that.
I'm on that Brion.
Listen, I'm going to say one thing about Brion. That's that Brion. We're going to start calling this the Brion. That's that Brion right there that's making her do that. AKA wine. So we're going to try to bring the Currys back in. It's very important for the world and for the culture for sure. So we pick back up.
Here we go.
IG didn't want us to be great.
They didn't want us to be great.
Chicago that fucked up my triple double. He didn't want me to do Yo, Ayesha, I got a question for you. So when you go out and you're doing media for, all the things that you are doing, maybe the first 3 questions come out is about Steph Curry. And I'm asking this question because of this one right here.
Wait, does that happens to you?
Oh.
Talk about that though.
20
That's crazy.
years in the game.
Well, if that happens to her, I feel like I can't complain.
No, like they're like, you've got a cure for cancer, you say. But
yes.
Let's talk about the big 3. And I'm like, what? I have a whole okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit though.
That one's tough, because like when you're working so hard, like it took me a long time to just be at peace with it and realize, you know what, it's gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening whether I want it to or not. And I honestly started realizing, like, as much as I was complaining about it, because I was like, that I didn't want him to feel like it was because I wasn't proud to be his wife, or like wasn't happy that I was his wife. And I started realizing, hey, you know what, it could come across that way. So like, I need you to know that I'm so proud and happy and honored to be your wife, and I love you and all of these things. But at the same time, when as a woman, like when you're doing all of the things that you're supposed to do as a wife, and also creating a career for yourself or working hard outside of your home, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I was like, he does media after practice. He does media
every day.
Game, after
every
game,
day.
Every day. So if he didn't answer your questions, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I had a full ass life before him, and I'm gonna have a full ass life with him. So give me my time. And unless you're gonna give me the same time during his media time, so you know what I mean? Hello, beat reporters. Don't hijack my press tours. Ask me about Dwayne and LeBron and Chris Bosh. Like, come on, give me that same respect. But it's also really interesting because you guys are very much a team, you know what I mean? And you are exactly how you appear to be. So have you ever noticed that you get the questions about balance? How do you balance it all, right? But you're a team, and Steph never gets the questions about balancing because the expectation is he doesn't have to. That's your job to balance.
That's very true.
She gets that.
I told him
every time.
Asking him.
No, even from a parenting standpoint, like, I could show up with my kids to the game, and it's like I'm the best dad. That's a great part of like your parenthood and experiences, creating experiences for your kids. And I love those moments, but the reaction is that that's some like grand gesture type of situation versus she walked in with the kids to the game, they took a picture, they'd be like, that's what she's supposed to be doing, like the whole vibe. And so there's a weird dichotomy when it comes to that. And like,
it's like people don't realize that this is a partnership. Like, we're in this together. We're both trying to balance it all.
But like,
he's tired just as much as we're tired, and vice versa.
For different reasons. And you got to get it done. That's the most, I think, the one thing we've noticed is the ebbs and flows of the schedule, the busyness of life. And as you go through, like, we have hard times with it at times because there's so many demands, and like, it's not, we know we're doing amazing things and we're blessed, so we always keep it in perspective. But it's real in terms of like raising 3 kids that look to you for everything. And you want to be there, you want to provide, you want to continue to be great at the talents that God's given us in our respective fields. And yes, there's a lot of demands. You got to be together. You got to be in unison with how you approach it, and the stuff that you can't control too, that's coming at you nonstop, 24/7. So,
how did you guys handle injury this year?
I loved it, actually. I mean, to be honest, it was a weird.
Stephen.
I was coming into the season like I'm ready to go, like prove all these people wrong, talking about it's our rebuild year and all that. And in 4 games, it got taken away. So I had a change. Either I was gonna be depressed and be miserable, and not want to be around anybody, even my family, just because basketball was taken away, or you lean into it and know that this story is only getting started in terms of what these next years are going to be like.
Yeah, it's made you a better person.
Yeah, it's given me a greater perspective on, how amazing basketball is and how much fun I have playing the game, even through the crazy grinds of playoffs, series and championship runs and all that. I absolutely love it, so there's no question about that. But like the other things in life and being, making up for lost time with the kids was amazing. Leaning into the off-court stuff a little bit so I can set the foundation for all the things we talked about earlier about, how amazing those opportunities are. And I'm going to be back next year ready to go. So that's when I say I loved it. I got to lean into some other stuff because basketball was taken away.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, we don't want to keep you guys all day. First of all, I want to say, everybody out there, Domain Curry, make sure that you guys go out there and support. Obviously, D-Wade Sellers, go out there and support. I got one question left for Steph, and this is for the basketball world. Miami Heat versus Golden State. Our big 3 era versus y'all era.
Woo!
Who wins?
Come on, man.
I know we'll win, right? It's
Come on, man.
Let's talk about it real quick before we go off air.
I'm going to see it. We might have to get this on 2K. We will play this thing out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hey, no, give me a blowout. I can't play. I'm terrible. But I will say one thing, and I hate the conversations that we try to compare from generations and generations because you're never going to come with an answer, right? It's just filler words that everyone uses to fill airways. But I think we all have those moments where you see great teams and you see great individual players, and you be like, damn, I would love to have had a moment to play against them in my prime. So I'll just say that to say that when you guys, shortly after the Big 3 era and we kind of had the NBA, you guys came and took it over, and I was like, damn, I would love to play them right now. That'll be it. Eastern Conference versus Western Conference. Whoa!
Hey, in the alternate universe, that would have been amazing, bro. But how many points would you have averaged like in 1975?
Who was playing back then?
I'm
Listen, Steph, I'm getting buckets in every era.
Exactly, but
I'm getting buckets in every era. I can play tough. I can play the tough game, or I can play the no defense game. I can go to the hole and get up and pick myself up, or I can play no defense. Whatever y'all want, I'm out there getting buckets.
Absolutely.
I can't shoot from half court, but I'll find a way to put that ball in the basket.
I would have sucked because ain't no 3-point line.
Yo, have you guys watched the Jordan doc, The Last Dance?
Yeah, we're with everybody else. 2 episodes in. I hate that they slow rolling it, but it's something. I'm can't wait for Sunday. So, I heard what you said about what Jordan meant and being in Chicago, and giving you a vision of like what you could accomplish with the game of basketball. Like that to me, like we know how just how dope of a legacy MJ's got, but like hearing that from you and putting it into real terms. You said it earlier, like what a 5 or 7-year-old right now is thinking about watching the game, and like that's so crazy to me. And the fact that you had the high level of career that you had, and have now created that for other people. Like I can fall in love with those stories so much because like we're talking about sports and like a game of basketball doing that for a kid. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I was telling my wife while we were watching. Michael Jordan came into the NBA at 84, and the documentary was taking place around 97, 98. I told my wife, I said, you're watching my entire childhood.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? I was born in 1982, and by 98, I was 16 years old. So you're watching my entire childhood, and without the Chicago Bulls team, I would not have had the vision that I had to become a NBA basketball player, and the vision of Michael Jordan to try to do the things that he did. You know what I mean? And want to become one of the greatest players to play the game. So I give so much credit to the 91 Bulls team, because without them, like I remember being a kid sitting in front of the little 12-inch TV we had, and when they won a championship, I remember saying to myself, like, that's what I want to do. That's the feeling I want to give to my family, the feeling that the Bulls gave to us. So without them, bro, I wouldn't be here. So, man, I'm in heaven every Sunday. I can't wait. I can't wait.
And for everybody a little older, he just said, that's my childhood. And I was like, I was well into my 20s.
No. Well,
yeah.
In 98.
The 98, the last dance.
Yeah, you was rolling.
Hey.
That's what makes it.
That's gold.
That's gold.
98. She was a thought in 98, back up for sure.
I was. Listen, I enjoyed my life. And that is the exact advice I gave Ayesha and a young Steph at D. Wright's 25th birthday party.
It all comes out. I'm so done.
You guys, the likelihood of this working out is very low, and you should just break up now and have sex with other people. I use a little bit more adult, but is that not what I told y'all both?
You looked at me and said, how old are you? Okay.
Precisely, because I was a thought.
I apologize on behalf of the Wade family. We are not, that's not who we are anymore.
I wish somebody else.
I still might give the same advice. Listen, you guys are unicorns. Like literally, there are very, very few people that I've met who have been consistent. I've known you guys well over a decade, and there's a lot of people who talk about faith, and there's a lot of people who talk about moving the culture forward, but something isn't real somewhere, right? And when people are like, are they really, are they real? And I'm like, yes, they're some of the only people that I've met who've been consistent from the first time I saw them to every time I speak to you guys. And whether that's me and Ayesha texting each other, like just encouragement, randomly, like, girl, keep your head up, you got this. And she, returns the favor. You guys have been consistent. And I wish more people understood that it is possible to be people of faith and also wanting to move the culture forward. Those two things don't have to exist separately. And you guys do a beautiful job of being exactly who you claim to be. And
thank you.
We appreciate that. Yeah.
Cheers. Look at my empty glass.
We're on bottle number 2.
Yo, Steph, when this all ends, we gotta get on that golf course, man. I need some.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm finding you somewhere. Nice,
man.
The West Coast.
Love you guys.
Thank you guys. This was so much fun.
Not you, Tally.
Team Curry.
First and last meal I might cook this year, so appreciate you.
Highly likely.
Love y'all.
All love.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yo, that was dope, man. I think it's almost 7:30, so I just want to take a moment to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the wind down this week. This is all about conversation. This is all about having fun, and getting to the end of the week, you need something to kind of take your mind off of everything that's going on, in the world right now. So hopefully a little wine, a little laughter, can do that for everyone. So thanks for tuning in for the 5th episode of the Wind Down, and hope to see you guys next Friday as well. Go buy some wine. If it's my wine, if it's the Curry's wine, if it's anybody wine, go buy
McBride
it.
Sisters,
Enjoy
get
it.
that black girl magic.
Yes, enjoy it because it's a beautiful thing. So we're about to drink all night. And,
this is about support, right? It's not just about supporting famous people. It's about supporting one another. We all have something to contribute. So dip in somebody's live, dip in on somebody's blog, or however you can support your neighbors, your friends, your family. That's what it's all about. So Cheers. Love y'all.
Peace.
Chill.
Ooh, Bria.
Okay.
Woo.
You know.